Hello, so recently I took a flight on an American Airlines business class route from Boston, Massachusetts, all the way to Miami, Florida in the domestic business class of American Airlines. It was a 737 plane, so one of the smaller ones, about a 3-hour flight, and this is how the experience went. I mean, with American, you can get deals sometimes on business class routes, like Delta, JetBlue, you're probably gonna be paying like $1,000 for a business class flight, but with American, you can find deals for just a few $100s if you are willing to take a stop. Let's check out the seat. So check out the seat. The seat, it's a 2-2 configuration. The seat is it's nice leather. It's a big seat. You have a lot of space. I was in the front row today, so I was in row 1. I could put my legs all the way out, which is, I found pretty good. Beautiful day, kind of cloudy day in Boston. Check out the loo. Now the bathroom. The toilet is pretty much the same as in the toilet in the back of the plane. So in American Airlines, you have the business class toilet in the front of the plane, and then there's one in the back as well. And more so in Middle Eastern carriers and Asian carriers, the business class bathroom is gonna be pretty bougie, pretty luxury, like a lot of nice things about it. But for at least American domestic business class, it's exactly the same, nothing special. And before you do it, we were taking off. Going over Boston in the morning is quite pretty. It's like very pretty airline. It's a very pretty airport to leave from because you're surrounded by the water, the coastline there. So it's very pretty to head off on. And this morning was particularly pretty because the sun was just about setting. This afternoon, I should say, was particularly pretty because the sun had like a bit of a golden hue to it. So that was nice to see. And before you know, we were above the clouds. Yeah, in row 1, you don't really have much of a view. So I just looked at the window for a bit of time. So in row 1, you have no under the seat storage. So both your bags have to go in the upper compartment there, which is fine. You just gotta make sure you have enough room. The seat does come with an adjustable headrest, which was nice. Nice. I like those adjustable headrests. You don't bring like one of the neck pillows. Yeah, it was comfortable enough. American Airlines, they're the airline that basically if you don't buy the business class and you have status, sometimes they can upgrade you if there's space. Usually there's not a lot of space. Usually the seats are pretty full, but in the past you used to be able to get pretty good awards for being upgraded if you had high enough status with the American Airlines point club. Getting back into snacks and things, on the domestic business class route, you will get served cocktails. You get drinks, cocktails, sodas, which you can get in economy too, but you have to pay for it. In the business class, that's kind of all included in your seat. You don't really get a meal. On the international routes, you do get a meal. So I was going onward to Colombia afterwards, and they gave you a bit of a meal, but it really depends on like what time of the day it is that you're going, depending on what food you'll get. I got a gin and tonic. I love gin and tonics. I've been on a bit of a gin and tonic kick lately, and yeah, it was good. The IFE, so the in-flight entertainment. American doesn't have like TVs in their 737 seatbacks, but they do have streaming that you can connect to on your phone. But that's besides the point. For my meal, I got a little bit of a charcuterie board, which was actually really delicious. Some warm nuts. There was a pumpkin cake, there were some cheeses, and then there were some meats. And for me, it was everything I wanted. I love charcuterie boards, and actually the quality was very, very good. But my favorite was the pumpkin cake. Like pumpkin and a little bit of cream. Are you kidding me? Absolutely delicious. Then afterwards, I got a whiskey soda and some water just to wash it down with a bit more nuts. And before you know it, we're halfway there. We're pretty much more than halfway there. Like, it's only a 3-hour flight from Boston to Miami, so it goes by fast. After the meal service and after the ending cocktail, they pass around a nice little hot towel to clean your face. And yeah, that was lovely. And before you knew it, we're landing in Miami. Miami airport. There's a few airports in Miami. This one was the main one, Miami International. Really pretty at nighttime. Coming in like Miami. I like Miami a lot. There's a lot of things I like about it. There's a lot of things I do not like about Miami. But one thing for sure is it's a very pretty place to fly into, to land into. It's just gorgeous. Once again, you have the water there and all the lights from the building. And overall, it was a good flight. The service was decent. I mean, for domestic American routes, where basically the common consensus is that American airline carriers are inferior to those of Asia and the Middle East. You just don't have the same luxuriousness, yet they tend to be much more expensive. It was an okay flight. The service was good. The food was good. The drinks were good. There were no delays, which was good. The bathroom was kind of small, but I mean, they don't adjust anything on their domestic routes for business class versus economy, so it was what you expect. Overall, it was a good experience. If you can find a deal for just a couple $100s, I would recommend it. If you have to pay more than $400-ish for a 3-hour flight, I would not recommend it. So it really depends the type of deal you can get, if you can find one. Sometimes you can find good ones with upgrading with points, or if you book from a weird airport, like sometimes if you go from Manchester, New Hampshire, or like smaller airports, you can get a deal on the business class, like not smaller, but less well-known airports, you can sometimes get a deal. But overall, I'd say don't break the bank for American Airlines business class. It's okay. For American Airlines domestic business class, it's okay. It's not incredible, it gets the job done. And this flight was actually pretty nice. And so now I hope you have some expectations for what you could expect if you fly American Airlines domestic business class in the US. It's okay, not too bad. And with that, I hope you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one.